Oh, blah. 𝗚𝗿liche 10-stage marathon format for the SDP-66, the Grom, Tier A Premium Polish tank destroyer. But I hate this format. It sucks. It's so grindy. They want you to play like 5 hours a day, and in the end, you get to like stage 7. And you have to pay like 20 bucks for the vehicle anyways. So, I hate this format. It sucks. So much more grind than the XP-based Nation Marathon for the IS-6 about 10 years ago, or the Battle Pass format. That's not bad, right? You get some points even if you lose, and don't have to do the base XP thing, which sucks. But yeah, initially it starts off easy, right? It starts off real easy, but afterwards you get to like stage 6, stage 7, it slows down quite a bit, like really slows down. You can do the tier 9 to tier 10. That's a little bit more digestible compared to the base XP needed. 9,000 at stage 3 is already kinda suck. Kinda aggravating. 18,000 at stage 4. Yeah, you might as well deal the damage 4 times with a high tier vehicle, but at stage 6 or stage 7, it gets real grindy. Real grind. High caliber 6 times. Oh. Even for the high tier vehicle, it gets way too long. 30 matches with top damage dealt. And 40 times. God, it sucks. I mean, you have a crew with it, technically. That's not bad. But the entire package is not 60 bucks. It's about 80, 90-ish bucks. So technically, after you finish like stage 7, you still have to pay like 30 bucks, 20 bucks for the vehicle, right? Sucks. Alright, let's do a quick stats recap of this vehicle. So basically a large Su-122-44 at tier 8 with a new mechanic, or technically new-ish, of damage drop-off. So more damage you deal at closer range compared to sniping in the back. Also more so for this vehicle because they nerf the actual 500 meter alpha from 350 to 200. So DPM at 500 meters or more is about 800, which is not great. So even more unforgiving than the original 1400 or so DPM at long distance, right? You're not incentivized to snipe, but even if you do, you're not paying that much to have a lower DPM. Now it's even more punishing to snipe. So you're not incentivized to snipe. You are supposed to be aggressive, but they buff the close range alpha damage. So we already covered most of the changes, but I took a closer look. So they buffed the base DPM at 50 meters because alpha damage got buffed from 700 to 800. So close range fire support, but nerfing 350 alpha at 500 meters to 200. So basically DPM at 500 meters is 800. You're not sniping. You're not really sniping. Also longer aim time or longer reload time. Aim time is the same, accuracy is the same, so you're at close range, but module damage at long distance has been nerfed. So you are less likely to knock off tracks or even wheels of light tanks at longer ranges now. Because why not? I don't know. It should be a 100mm caliber, even though the exterior outer diameter is like 160 or something. So actual interior or caliber of the gun is 100mm. So it looks big on the outside. Inside it's a smaller caliber technically, but I guess, I don't know, there's no such a thing. It's not even historically accurate. It's not realistic. They buffed the top speed, buffed the horsepower per ton ratio, nerfed the armor, nerfed the health, and nerfed the view range. So you are practically Russian in terms of view range. You are blind. 350 is the Russian heavy tanks at tier 8. Blind. You are close range. Even though shell velocity is good, but you are very much incentivized to be close range as possible, even though armor got nerfed, health got nerfed. So I don't know, you cannot take the hits anymore anyways, but this is the original armor prior to the nerf. So originally 210 for the superstructure, about 270-ish, 280-ish on top, so relatively pretty good for a tier 8, right? Upper plate about 210 with a 120mm sloped and 80 for the lower plate. So theoretically, original armor could withstand some of tier 9s or some of tier 10s base shells, but now they nerfed the mantlet. They nerfed the superstructure. Superstructure is only 250 now. Originally it was 210mm baseline, but now it's only 195. Upper plate is only 100 compared to 120, and lower plate is still 80. But yeah, weaker upper plate, weaker superstructure, weaker mantlet. Mantlet has areas of 150, even though it's rounded, or 130 rounded, but originally it was 210 all the way around. So yeah, 270 to 250 is not great. I mean, unless you shoot the side of the cheeks, then this is auto bounce. The same with the original one, obviously, but yeah, armor got nerfed. You used to have the cupola weak spot for the commander, and you have better mobility. Might as well use it. 50mm for the hull sides compared to 50 still. 50 still. Yeah. At least you have 20mm of tracks, but I mean, it does have a smaller area on the superstructure compared to the SDP-58, the Kilana, but yeah, I mean, it is still weaker though, technically. Yeah, that is kind of auto bounce unless it's a high caliber, high explosive anti-tank round with lots of pin, but yeah, only about 240 with AP normalization. 155 for the upper plate. Ugh. So yeah, it's a tier 8 SU-122-44 practically. I mean, there are not that many large caliber guns on elongated medium tank chassis of a tank destroyer design. The closest is obviously the STP-58 or the SU-101, but they don't have a large caliber gun for the Russians other than the ISUs. So, well, alpha is debatable. You're having a 90mm alpha at 500 meters or more. 200 alpha sucks at high distance, so you're not sniping. This is a corridor map. This is a close range corridor map, pseudo assault tank destroyer, even though you don't have the armor anymore. But obviously rammer, I would say possibly enhanced gunner sights, even though you're at, oh well, maybe turbocharger at this point, and optics for equipment. It is weird. It is real weird of a playstyle. So much like the WZ-120 1GFT, the Chinese tier 8 tank destroyer, practically a larger-ish of a SU-122-44. So the way I play this thing is somewhat aggressive. Armor could bounce a few, but this thing has more comfortable of a gun traverse arc compared to 5 degrees per side. This thing is 10, so much more comfortable, but this is also a smaller profile, less area to get hit. But I don't know, I put rammer, vents. You could put turbocharger to go a little bit more faster, but yeah, about still about the same horsepower per ton ratio and kilometers per hour top speed. This thing is better camo though, so this thing is more stealthier. But yeah, optics, you could swap out the vents for the turbocharger just so you could be aggressive, but yeah, optics is kind of necessary for this vehicle. 350 meters of view range does kind of suck. What's the base view range on this thing? I cannot tell. They don't say it. They don't have a turret to say it. But yeah, let's just compare this thing. Might as well use the latest version. 1GFT. You have better DPM technically at close range, but much worse DPM at longer distance. So better engine power, but not as good horsepower per ton ratio. Slower top speed. It's a chunkier body at 55 tons compared to about 40-ish tons. Much less camo and less view range, but better gun depression by 1 degree and faster shell velocity. So module damage is better at close range, but dispersion while moving is about the same, other than turret traverse or gun traverse in the socket. But well, it does have 200 more health. I mean, gun traverse arc is kind of big deal, but yeah, I would rather play with the 1GFT WZ120. I don't know, man. It's such a weird vehicle to play with. You have to be super aggressive. So field mods wise, we already talked about equipments, but field mods, first one is obviously the first one. Effective hull traverse will be buffed with better terrain resistance, so always choose the first one for tank destroyers anyway. Better aim circle size or aim time. I don't know. Both are kind of if. Base accuracy is also kind of if, right? But you're at close range, so it doesn't really matter with the accuracy. Might as well go with better aim time, but doesn't really matter. You're having a shotgun in your face all the time, so you don't really need to aim unless super armor or something. But this one's up to you. If you're playing correctly, this one's a close range vehicle where none of these two really matters, but sometimes you could want to snipe, so maybe accuracy at distance, I don't know, it's okay. And after firing camo or view range, definitely view range. After firing camo for large caliber guns or semi large caliber guns tend to suck anyways, so you're not getting that big of a benefit. 4.4 compared to 3.9 on the 122, not that big of a difference, not really. And for this vehicle, after firing camo is 2.3. It doesn't matter, go with better view range. But oh god, this is not that great fun of a vehicle to play. Let's see, how much did I rate it back in May 30th? So like I said, 6 months late to the debut of the vehicle for a premium crew trainer of a premium tank for the tech tree, but highly similar to the tech tree SDP-58 Kalana with the same caliber of gun, even though better aim time but worse accuracy. They nerf the actual alpha, but whatever. Damage drop off mechanic, star-shaped barrel, blah blah. Yeah, they nerfed the armor effectiveness. Yeah, most glaring downside is on paper 120mm hull. Yes, it's upper plate, but superstructure is thicker. So yeah, 4.5 out of 10. Still feels about the same, 4.5. You have to be very aggressive, but this is a high skill cap vehicle. I think this is a high skill cap vehicle. You're playing with a very detrimental gun arc. 5 degrees per side is not fun. And you have to be very aggressive, very aware of the map and layout of the map and enemy positions to make full use of nerf armor. So it still feels like a 4.5 out of 10. Also, the grind is not that great. You have to work your ass off. Oh god, I hate this format. Technically, it's actually the second format for marathons. The first format is 100,000 XP per nation, and that was back in 2013 for the IS-6. So Polish tank destroyers came out in April, but I went on to search the original marathon for the IS-6. I remembered it. That was when you had to introduce the Japanese medium tanks and play through the Japanese medium tanks to get to the IS-6 marathon. That was almost 11 years ago. Holy shit. But I did not do a video on the IS-6 marathon. This was just when I was starting out playing World of Tanks. So IS-6, all the way down here, holy crap. I already had it. I never bought the IS-6. I got it for free, but yeah, that was a grind for the Japanese medium tanks, or every XP per nation. 100,000 XP per nation for that marathon. They changed it. They changed it after the black IS-6, or I got the Type 62 as well from marathons. So they gave out the Type 62 and some of the weirder lower tier premium tanks. I forget, like Type 64 as well, but it wasn't as bad as the IS-6. I got the T-34 as well as the black T-34 with the original marathon, 100,000 XP per nation. They switched it to 10 stage format with a Carnarvon Action X, the Su-130PM, and CS-52 LIS, the Fox, before switching to the Battle Pass format for Ship TVP-100, the 56 toilet paper, the Mittler Kampfpanzer PR-68. So those are Battle Pass format, but this was actually the second format for marathons, and I freaking hate it. It sucks. They want you to grind, they want you to play, but in the end you'll get frustrated at stage 7 or stage 8. It takes way too goddamn long for only 10 days of marathon, right? So in the first day you'll probably finish like 4 stages, 5 stages if you're playing long enough, and afterwards for like 9 days or 7 or 8 days you grind like 2 or 3 stages, and in the end you'll feel tired. You're just like, ah, fudge it, I'll pay like 20% of the actual price for the vehicle, which includes the bundle of stuff, right? It includes like crew and garage slots, and in the end 20% of like $100 is still $20. You still have to pay like $20. So either way, Wargaming got a lot out of you. They got you to play the game, boosting the player base. They got you to pay the money for the vehicle, and the vehicle is very whatever, meh, atrocious. So yeah, you don't have to really spend the time. You're not missing out that much. So also what's funny is recent tech tree vehicles are kinda not stellar. They're not that impactful, other than say the BZ-75, right? The BZ-75, you do see it in Onslaught, but it's not as good as a 60 TP. Not really. Cupola weak spot, it's kind of still slow, but nah. But this thing is more prominent than stuff like the NC-70 𝗚𝗁𝘁𝗵, or Concept number 5, or Type 71. So recent tech tree vehicles at tier 10, or even the whole tech tree, is not that stellar. The 𝗚𝗁𝘁𝗵, whatever, the NC-70, not really that big of a deal. I don't really see this vehicle rarely appearing in Onslaught. I don't even see it. Or Type 71, nah, this thing needs a buff. I don't even see it. The VZ-71 is just out, so technically, yeah, it's a... What the hell's a VZ-71? Check. Yep, VZ-71 just out technically, so you could see this thing running about, but not really. So none of the recent tech tree vehicles or tech tree in general are that stellar. So yeah, this is not going to be that great of a premium tank, but I don't know. I mean, some players like the Polish tank destroyers, very seldom few, but I don't know. It's not really that free. It's not really that good. Does not make the meta compared to stuff like the Ship TVP 100. That's a good, free premium tank. This is a good tech tree grind, or tech tree crew trainer if we ever come to it, but this was battle pass format. This was decent of a premium tank. The same goes for stuff like battle pass format for the Terminator T-32. This is a good American heavy tank, even though the only saving grace is the skin and the collaboration. Otherwise, it's a T-32 with different stats. So, I hate this format, you already know. This format sucks. So, either way, you're not going to get that much out of it. Wargaming is going to milk you for your time or your money, or both. But, yeah, players will probably finish like 5 stages and pay like 50% off for the vehicle, which is still not that great. So I don't know if you can pay money or pay gold instead of actual money. You cannot pay gold, right? Ah, man, you have to pay money. You cannot pay the exorbitant amount of gold you've been hoarding throughout the year, so you have to pay money for it, even if it's a discount. So yeah, discount only applies to your account in the premium shop. It's not like, ooh, you can pay discount of gold for this vehicle. That sucks. So there you go, folks. SDP-66, the Grom. It's a whatever vehicle. It's a very hard to play, high skill cap vehicle, if you will. But I don't know. I mean, it got nerfing armor. So as always, thank you guys for watching this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
あなたの言葉にうなずき信じた私を一人置き去りに時は過ぎる見えていたはずの未来